Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. You already know what it is. We back with another one of them things. And tonight we got a hell of a topic and discussion with the people tonight. I think the people are going to really enjoy this one. There's so many variables to discuss. This season already is very young. We got in-season tournament time coming up for the Charlotte Hornets. We will be live. Make sure you are subscribed. Your notifications are all clicked. You are up to date with what's going on. Because this draft class of the 2020, pardon me, was just unbelievable. When you're discussing Lamelo Ball, Tyreese Haliburton, Desmond Bane, we're gonna get into Anthony Edwards as well. It seems like everybody has their favorite, out of the class. And we even have some sleepers that we got to discuss. We all know what is headed by. And like I said, it's unbelievable. LaMelo just took down one of those counterparts. Every time he steps in, the court with some of these guys, you see some of the better performances out of LaMelo Ball, whether win or lose. And that's just Melo. We also want to highlight other guys. This ain't nothing to poo-poo on nobody because it's talent all over the place. But we're going to discuss the Pantheon of the 2020 NBA draft is about to go down. I got all access with me. Dex, what's the deal? It's Flight Sports TV. It's crazy. What's your thoughts on the situation? Well, Dex will be right with us. Seems like we're having some technical difficulties. But salute to my man Andrew. Shout out Rap Guy Reloaded and everybody in the chat. You got to take your mic off mute.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in the streets. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. And most definitely shout out to everybody pulling up the Flight Sports TV. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you won't miss one iota of an exuberant experience. Yes, Flight, excuse me for my crude entrance based on the technical difficulties I'm facing right now. But I can't wait to dig into this conversation about the Pantheon of the 2020 draft, of course known aka as a pandemic draft. I think, with all due respect, we have to highlight that this is the most lucrative draft in the 75-year history of the NBA. And what I mean by lucrative, within that rookie period and the extension of the rookie contract, that's the part where you evaluate the value of the draft. monetarily speaking. And also by their demonstration on the parquet floor in order for them to be rewarded an extension of some kind. Everybody don't get the max. There was only 3 out of that draft that got the max. But since that max was such a exorbitant amount, it heightened the lucrativeness of the draft. So you have Tyreese Haliburton leading with $260 million. His was announced first. Then Lamelo Ball, $260 million. And last but not least, Anthony Edwards, $260 million. That's a lot of freaking money. That's over $700 million, almost $900 million just from those guys. Almost reached $1 billion. And then you look at Devin Vessel contract, you look at Obi Toppin, you look at Isaiah Stewart, you look at Desmond Bain, and this is definitely over $1 billion worth of assets and commodity in the 2020 draft, the pandemic year. And what makes this draft so interesting and deeply intriguing, Flight, is that this was the draft that didn't have a training season. They went right in the preseason, a couple of games, and right into the schedule. So the significance of young men coming into the league without a significant training season, or training camp, rather. Preseason, training camp, it's all the same. And for it to turn out the way it did, based on the matriculation of these young men in 2020, some coming from college, some coming overseas, some walk-ons. But nevertheless, it panned out to what it is right now. And these young men are so inviting and exciting that we're here talking about a Pantheon for that draft. I think that is extraordinary in itself. Like,
Great point on that. Like I was just discussing with everybody else. Everybody got their favorites in that class. Who do you see stepping like head and shoulders? Do you see anybody stepping outside of the pack, even though we do have the 3 top guys?
Stepping out of that pack, you talking about as a sleeper? Or you talking about the whole 160?
Like, who's looking like head and shoulders, like the best guy in that class?
Well, I don't know if there's a head and shoulders, because when you look at the number 1 overall pick, as his career has taken off to another level, he has basically showed it was justified picking him number 1. And that's AE, Anthony Edwards, the big AE. even though he don't have a fullness to his game, there's a lot of evidentiary shortcomings to Big AE's game. But he has played at such a high level constantly. You can justify him coming out of that draft as a number one pick. Now, of course, it's context to everything, right? He went to a better team. He went to a team that was already having two all-stars available. And that was D'Angelo Russell and Big Cat. He went to a team that had a young big man who was a perennial all-star and was at the top of the heap to some degree in the Western Conference among big men. Very much an honorable mention. His numbers equate that. So to quantify his significance was great. You look at James Wiseman, didn't pan out. It was an utter failure for Golden State. And the reason why it's not highlighted to the point where it affected Golden State moving forward is because they did win a championship with James Wiseman on the roster. Albeit, he contributed basically nothing. So you go down the next notch and you have Lamelo Ball. Now, unfortunate for Lamelo, he got drafted by Charlotte. And Charlotte was basically smothered with an identity crisis. They didn't know which way they was going to go. They didn't know what they wanted to actually do and who were they going to actually feature. It was a ugly triangle with Devontae Graham, Gordon Hayward, and LaMelo Ball. Who they're going to feature? The young, sensational phenom coming from overseas as a number 3 overall draft? Where they featured the newly acquired $30 million man coming from a winning atmosphere to instill a winning attitude, plus the Great White Hope. Or were they going to feature an undersized overachiever, G League developmental highlight to the Charlotte Hornets organization and in-state rule favorite in Devontae Graham, North Carolina's very own. So that conundrum caused a severe identity crisis and mismanage of young talent kind of seeped the 3rd overall pick into a quagmire. Like, go ahead with your question.
Well, I was gonna ask how big was this COVID situation during that time, because that was probably the most unique situation ever. This class really was affected. Crazy.
Yeah, that's what I highlight that earlier about them not having no training camp. What they had,
No
two
summer league,
preseason games?
especially how summer league has become. Summer
Yeah, it
league
was
is
nothing. None of that. All that was gone. You know what I'm saying? And to not have a training camp and these young men, all 60, that was drafted going to a team with just two preseason games. Two preseason games, a week off, and the season started. No crowd, no fans yelling and screaming and creating a hostile environment. None of that. It just quiet basketball. It was like late night basketball. And so that was very unique. And under them circumstances, the 2020 draft was still the most lucrative draft of all time. So we go to the next slot. The number 4. The Bulls chose Patrick Williams. Rave reviews coming out of college saying that he's going to be the next Kawhi. His game is basically patterned after that. Chicago knew they was drafting a project. Not only a prospect, but a project. And to some degree, that hasn't panned out. They practically have to beg him every year to play basketball. And then they try to convince the fans, see Red Nation, this is the year he's going to break out of this installation and shell that is part of the tapestry of Patrick Williams. And we have yet to see that. Then we continue on down the line, and you have the number 6 overall pick, as we kind of break down the top 10, and then we can scoot along. Onyeka Okongwu. Oh, excuse me. I meant no, 6, 5. The number 5 pick was Isaac Okoro. Number 6, Onyeka Okongwu, Big O. Still question marks with Big O. Because he came in the league top 6 pick, yet injured. So that caused a slow start to his career. So the jury's still out. Killian Hayes follows up. He has improved. He has improved a lot because he was very shaky in his rookie season. Obi Toppin, the NCAA Wooden Award winner, Player of the Year for the Dayton Flyers. Wasn't really utilized to his agreement, and so he asked for a trade. And so now he's in Indiana. Career is resurging, and he's looking to be a pretty good complementary piece to another one of these 2020 draftees, as we mentioned a little later. Then
he went before Tyreese too.
Say that again, Flight.
I said Obi went before Tyreese.
Yes. Before Bane. So we actually not going to break down Tyreese because he was down so far. I was just going to go through the top 10. So after that, Denny Abdija, the only practicing Jew in the league right now. I think he's the only one who practiced openly jury in the NBA right now. So I'm quite sure he's kind of conflicted. We saw him last night against the Hornets. So I'm quite sure he's kind of conflicted to what's going on in the world in the Middle East. I'm quite sure that might have some effect on him. Could have relatives over in that region. Then the number 10 pick, the top 10, Jalen Smith, went to the Suns. Now, we went through the top 10. There were some names you didn't hear. Surprisingly, I'm quite sure. The next 10, Devin Vessel, or Vestal, have they said. I think he's French. Devin Vestal. Then you have Tyreese Haliburton. Hallie is in the building. Number 12. Kyra Lewis, 13. Aaron Naismith, 14. Cole Anthony, 15. Isaiah Stewart. We saw him earlier this year. 16. Alex Sajek Stevesky. Now he's kind of been pushed to the side. He did have a decent rookie year, and he had a decent sophomore year to some degree. And then I think he got hurt. And ever since then, he's been pushed aside over there in Oklahoma City. And I don't know where he's at right now. And most of us remember him as the guy with the funny name who looks funny for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So now you got the Chet Holmgrens of the world. So I don't know what they're going to do with Alex Sedges. Then after that, you have Josh Green. Yep, Josh Green is in there. Sadiq Bey. Precious Achua. Tyreese Maxey. Zeke Najee. And then you have a guy that I'm not even familiar with, Leandro Bomaro. I don't know whatever happened with him. I don't even know what is he doing. Then you have another R.J. Hampton. Yep, he was there. Iman Quickly. Peyton Pritchard was in that draft. He also, I think Peyton Pritchard also got his rookie extension. And then you have Udoka Zubuki, Jaden McDaniels' younger brother, Malachi Flynn. Whatever happened to Malachi Flynn? And the last pick of that draft in the first round was Desmond Bain. Right? Desmond Bain was the last pick of the 2020 first round draftees. So when we talk about a pantheon, this is where it's a Greek term. Even it was used in the Roman times, but it's a Greek word, Greek term, and it was where the gods were housed, the Greek gods. So that's how important a pantheon is if you are to be stamped in that space. And so you heard me already list the first round of 2020 and some of the prestigious names that have been mentioned out of that first 30. And then when you go to the bottom 30, you got Vernon Carey, Theo Maladin, Xavier Tillman. I'm not going to read them all, just the notable. Saban Lee, Trey Jones, Nick Richards, Marco Simonovic, and Jordan Nawara, Nico Mannion, Skylar Mays, Cassius Winston, Kenyon Martin Jr., Cassius Stanley, Grant Wheeler, Jalen Harris, and Sam Merrill. Those are some of the top 60 first 2 rounds drafted of 2020. And you heard me mention some of the names that are still remaining with Charlotte Hornets and playing with Lamelo. So there's a lot of high-profile names in that draft from 1 to 60. And most times you don't get that. Once you get out of the top 10, it's kind of like who's who. And we went all the way to 60, and there was notable names that we recognized. Might not have had a notable career to this point, but very notable names going into that 2020 draft. And now you can see why you have 3 of the top 15 receiving rookie max extension. So what's up with this Pantheon? And why mention a Pantheon of a draft that was just 4 years ago? And the reason why that is justified because of the amount of money that have been invested by these organizations for that draft. Look how much money that was poured into 2020, a pandemic year. And these young men pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. And under very unique circumstances. And majority of these players are still in the league. It's probably maybe 6 out of the 60 that's not on the roster. That's good. That's a very high percentage from a draft. That out of 60 draftees, approximately 50 to 54 are still on an NBA roster associated with an NBA team. That's mad crazy. So that's how much talent the NBA feel or felt that was among that draft. And now let's look at it. Let's go to Tyreese Haliburton. Ty Hallie. Put up significant numbers tonight, 29-10, in a victory over the Milwaukee Bucks, a very, very formidable opponent. And Ty Hallie did it on the road, taking on Dame and company. So when you look at his career, he had his few shares of injuries. He was neck and neck with Lamelo going into the All-Star break. In the rookie year. Both of them winning consecutive Rookie of the Month, if y'all can remember. Lamelo gets hurt. Tyreese get hurt. Tyreese come back before Lamelo, of course. But then, guess what? The number 1 overall pick for that season start emerging. He starts shaking off the cobwebs. He starts remembering that he's a basketball player, not a football player. As he said that his interest was really football, not basketball. Now he's an athlete. Big, strong, young country boy from Georgia, right? Corn-fed, that's what we call it. Corn-fed. Came with a man's body. And they said that Anthony Edwards had the best upside based on that fact. So that was one aspect of his matriculation into the NBA that he didn't have to worry about gaining weight, because he was already of NBA stature. He had a slow start, but came on strong and competed with Lamelo for Rookie of the Year. So in that top 15, we can basically say, and you guys can qualify this or quantify this, that if you was going to put 5 on the Pantheon of that draft, with all the names mentioned, who would it be? Who would be your top 5? Now, after Tyreese Haliburton, my biggest surprise is Desmond Bain. Who knew it? Who knew that this guy, Desmond Bain, would be a bane in the side of his opponents night in and night out? Especially when Ja Morant went out with injury. Desmond Bain has been a rock for the Memphis Grizzlies. An unsung hero to some degree. And he earned his lucrative rookie extension. He almost was maxed out. He was close. So here you got Anthony Edwards. Here you got LaMelo Ball, Ty Hallie, Desmond Bain, all in the first round. I'm not even mentioning Tyreese Maxey. I'm not even mentioning Sadiq Bey. Because Sadiq Bey got his bread. I don't think Tyreese Maxey got his bread as of yet. Now that Harden is gone, you already know Maxey's going to be caked up. I mean, it's inevitable. Plus, he's with Clutch Sports. Oh, yeah. That young man, that Kentucky blue blood, is going to be caked up. You best believe that. At least 160 or better. At least 160 or better for Tyreese Maxey. Now James Harden is gone. So Tyreese Maxey value and worth have skyrocketed within the Philly organization. He's a must-need right now. He has to be approached as a cornerstone coupled with the MVP Joel Embiid. So do Maxey get elevated on the steps of the Pantheon for 2020 draft? I don't know. What y'all think? What about Sadiq Bey? I mean, he's caked up. He's with Atlanta, surging in his career, although he's being pushed very hard by Jalen Jackson. He's being pushed very hard. It's like a seesaw. So that might be good for Sadiq. You know, pressure bust pipes, and also pressure reveals what's in you. It'll bring it out. So, do Sadiq get an honorable mention? So, the Pantheon of the 2020 draft, who gets in? Who don't make it? Who gets an honorable mention at this juncture of their careers? I think that should be fair. We thought that the Cassius Winston would be more profile. We thought Cassius Stanley would be more profile. I mean, didn't do anything for this young man? What happened? How can somebody with that much celebrity from high school to college, we don't hear from them anymore? What about RJ Hampton? What happened there? Some people felt that RJ Hampton was a better player than Lamelo. So what happened? I mean, how did these guys disappear? Did they get it wrong, or did pressure just bust their pipes? I mean, because there is a severe gap and fall off between those mentioned and the top three. And that's including James Wiseman. So Ty Halley closed the gap severely with LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards. Some even say Ty have catapulted over the significance and worth and value of a LaMelo Ball. When we looked at the latest rankings, under 25, top 10, under 25, LaMelo barely cracks the list. Some agree, some don't agree. Some feel that the list is trolling, and just looking for sensationalism and emotional reaction that is not official. They say that list lacks severe integrity. So who gets on the Pantheon? Who makes it? Who don't make it? Now, if you ask me, I would say the Pantheon is, of course, Anthony Edwards, Tyreese Haliburton, LaMelo Ball, and Desmond Bain. That would definitely be my fourth. Now, the fifth guy, who is it? Devin Vessel?
Hey,
Could we say, or Vassell? Salute the purple baby. Can we say Devin Vassell?
for what?
Do he squeaks in over Sadiq Bey? Over the top 5 of the 2020 draft among the Pantheons of all those 60 participants? Who would be your top 5, Purple,
Um,
of the 2020 draft?
Anthony Edwards, number
You got to
one.
talk up a little bit. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Anthony Edwards, number one. Number two, to me, LaMelo. Number 4, Number 3, Tyreese Haliburton. 4, um, 4. Maxi. 4 is
Oh
Maxi.
wow, nice jump.
5. Who is my 5th? Well, the
You
only
need
person I
names?
see that's left is Quickly.
What?
I'm not, well, no, yeah, well,
You're gonna put quickly over Devin Vassell? Really?
um,
You're gonna put quickly over Sadiq Bey?
yes,
Oh wow. Okay.
but you got me on Basel. I might see. Hmm. I have
You're
to
gonna
watch
put quickly
Basel
over
play.
Desmond Bain.
Huh?
You're gonna put quickly over Desmond Bain?
I thought I named. Well, yes, because you got to think about it.
You gotta explain that one, sister.
All these guys, we know Edwards, Lamelo, Halliburton, and Maxi are like first or second on their team as far as scoring and everything. Everybody else is role players.
But
Like
quickly?
Sadiq,
Are you just saying quickly because that's the name you're familiar with?
no. Like
Quickly don't have
Bain,
the production of
like
Desmond Bain.
I haven't watched Memphis yet, but I know Memphis ain't won a game yet. And I can't
No,
pay.
we talking period. We ain't just talking this year
Um. Okay, then I put Bain over Quickly. Then
because Memphis, this is kind of like a new team, right? They done traded some significant pieces off Memphis.
the only person they got rid of Mark. Oh shit, Marcus Smart was with the Celtics. They got rid of what's his name?
Dylan,
Brooks
Dylan.
and
But that was a cornerstone. Yes or no?
huh?
That was a cornerstone. Brooks was a cornerstone for them.
Yeah, like I
That's
mean
what he's
they
doing for
got
you.
their reasons. They got their reasons to want to get rid of him. But yeah, Memphis is looking terrible, man. And then I think what's his name is injured again, Steven Adams, I think. I need some water.
So, how you feel about the Memphis defense? Because they kind of like they're not together yet, so it's kind of hard to gauge them.
Well, at first I thought people was tripping, and saying Memphis wasn't gonna be good, but it's much worse than what I thought it would be.
I mean, but there's justification for that. But nevertheless, you want to put quickly over Bain, cool. I'm not going to convince you otherwise.
Bang, because when you say overall, because I was thinking like currently this year.
No, no, I'm talking about their careers.
Oh yeah, Bane. I would take Bane over Quickly.
Okay, so that's four.
No,
You got need one more.
I named 5. It was Maxi, remember?
Oh, Maxi. Okay, you got Maxi up there.
Yeah.
Now, that's who was going to be my fifth one, Maxi.
Yeah.
So I have We basically have the same one then.
Yeah.
We have Anthony Edwards, Lamelo Ball, Tyrese Haliburton, Desmond Bain, and Tyrese Maxey. So two ties makes make our pantheon out of that draft. Let me look over to the chat and see, because I don't. Flight, what you think, Flight? Who would be your five out of that draft? So I guess we'll get Flight when he gets back. But I think that'll be interesting right there. And you know, Maxey is about ready to get paid, right? Purple.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
Harden is gone. That's over with. That's water under the bridge. They separated themselves. Philly moved on. Harden moved on. And now that allows Tyrese Maxey to emerge as a cornerstone and fixture in the Sixers organization. So they're going to pay him. And you know that Clutch Sports is going to leverage that to the hilt.
yeah.
And look how
But
Philly's
I
playing right
wanted,
now.
huh?
They're the number one in the East. You know that, right?
Yeah. Uh, what the heck? I wanted to ask you about this top 25 list because I went back and looked at it, and I forgot to mention it the other night.
Say that
The
again,
top
Purple. I'm sorry.
25 under 25.
Oh, that list. Yeah, that bogus list. Yeah, go ahead. Talk about it.
That had hold on. Uh, I know because now that I'm awake, and I'm looking at it. Okay, Luca's understandable. The top five is Luca Edwards, Wembanyama, Tyrese Ford, and Jaya five. That's interesting. Victor is anyway. Then I was
Exactly. That's
looking.
how you know it's bogus.
Then I was looking because Garland. I don't know if this list is like what they thought. Even if it was, if it's not from last year, how much importance do you think Darius Garland had on Cleveland winning last year?
I think Darius Garland was integral. I put it that way. He was definitely an integral part in Cleveland winning because he's a former All Star, so he knows how to play basketball. And it's just that Spider Man is just he's just so overwhelming. It's just he can just suffocate you. And I don't think that that's his intention. It's just that Spider Man game is so big that he will garner all of the attention
Right.
because he's coming from an organization where he was the number one guy. Darius was number one by default based on the injury to Colin Sexton. Even though he was emerging, he was definitely emerging, Darius Garland. But it was the injury to Colin Sexton that really catapulted him to be the central figure in the Cleveland uniform. And don't forget, Ricky Rubio was kind of in that hunt as well, and then all of a sudden he goes down. So yeah, Darius Garland by default, he gets the nod, and he played it out very well. And
Because
so was go ahead.
no, I would just say, okay, I understand what you're saying. But I wouldn't have put him in front of LaMelo, Jaren Jackson, Maxi. Maybe he can go in front of his own teammate Mobley. Cause Chet, all these guys are below him. Chet is below him. Scotty Barnes, Wagner, Jalen Williams. I think that's the OKC player. I think Josh Giddey, Jalen Green, Walker Kessler, Jalen Duran, Tyler Hero, Scoot Henderson. That's interesting that they got him so low. Keegan Murray and Sagoon. He's last on the list. It's just interesting. Zion is in front of him and Cade. I think Zion should be in front of Cade, but whatever.
Go ahead. You said
Yeah, I just feel like Darius, like, I don't know what to think about him.
I think he's on that list, but you're saying he's too high, or are you saying that he shouldn't be on the list? He hasn't really contributed much to be a part of that list.
I think he, like, it's tricky because I do think he has some level. Like, if this was before Donovan Mitchell got there, I wouldn't have had no problem. I just felt like Mitchell had more to do with them, doing what they did last year, even though they, lost to the Knicks and everything. But I just don't feel like he should be top 6. I'm sorry. He
Where you,
remind me of like a Dennis Schroeder type of player.
oh wow, is that right?
Yeah, like I think Dennis. If you remember Dennis when
Ooh.
he was in Atlanta, he was a really good player. I don't feel like he changes much. Oh, tired. Oh, I didn't even see you on there. What is this?
I think Darius Garland is. I think he's a good player because him and Lamelo made the All Star the same year, and we all know Lamelo got hurt the preceding year, but Garland went to the playoffs, and he lost in the first round, but he'd been to the playoffs. Lamelo ain't been to the playoffs yet, so you got to give him some credit for being a part of a playoff situation. So where do you rank Lamelo?
For this list, I would put him top 6.
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat rocking with Flight Sports TV. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you
Now,
won't miss one iota of an exuberant experience.
now, Dex, I just remembered something. I hope this list is based off of what they thought the guys was gonna do this year, because I just re-looked at it. Haliburton is number 4, and that's interesting to me.
So do you agree with Ty Hallie's slot? You agree with that number 4?
For right now, it's looking like if this is what this list was based on what they gonna do this year. Yeah, yeah, I agree with it. Let me make sure. Who else team got a good record? Um, well, Philadelphia, but James Harden was still there, so that's why he's
No,
so.
he's not. James Harden's not in Philly.
When this list was made, he was.
Oh, okay.
for Maxi when he was still there. Because if it's off of what they did or going to do, yeah, it'll make sense that Maxi is 11.
Oh, okay.
I think he's worth the top 8. Like I would put him in the top 8. But then I got to choose between Cade and Darius Garland, who I would take out. Because I think Zion deserves to be in the top 5. I would put him when healthy. I would put him in big. Would I put him at 3? Because Ja not playing either. Yeah, I'll probably put him at 3.
So where's Desmond Bain on that list?
He's not under 25, I guess.
Wow. Now you know that's wrong. He's
Yeah.
not. He didn't even make the list, and we got him in the Pantheon.
They got Keegan Murray on here. He 24. Sagoon is 25. Scoot is
But how in the
23.
hell Keegan Murray is more impactful than Desmond Bain?
He's Desmond. Are you sure Desmond Bain is under 25?
Oh well, that one I don't know. See, that's that could have something to do with it. I'm just going by because it was in the Lamelo draft. If I know he can't be that much older than Tyreese. I mean, Tyreese is didn't he come out
He's
as a junior?
25. Let me see something. Because
So,
it say he's
so Desmond
25.
Bain must be
Oh, okay. I
20.
guess they don't make the list if they already 25.
Oh, I thought it was 25 and under.
Because let me see how old Mitchell is.
So maybe Tyreese is there because of his birthday. Maybe his birthday is late. And Desmond Bain's birthday probably is early. That's probably why he didn't qualify.
Yeah, I'm looking for Haliburton because where is he at? Oh, he right there.
Because Desmond Bain was almost an all-star, right? Remember that? He
Yeah.
almost made the all-star.
Haliburton is 23. He was born in 2000, and Bain was born in 1998. Let me make sure I got that right. Let me look one more time. Yeah, he was born in 98. He's 25 already. So I guess
Okay. So he was a late bloomer. Desmond Bain's a late bloomer. He's an old man. He was an old man in that draft. Where they have Sadiq Bey?
he didn't make it either.
Wow. Sadiq Bey didn't make it.
Mm-mm.
Wasn't he the man in Detroit when Jeremy Grant left?
Not really, because they drafted somebody. I forgot
They
who it was.
drafted Cade Cunningham.
Kay was
But he
injured, I
got
thought.
hurt, remember? He got hurt.
Yeah, but it was somebody else on that team. He was still starting, but they was giving.
Let me see who else was on that team. Killian Hayes?
It
Was it
wasn't Killian. Killian was
Isaiah
25.
Stewart?
No,
He wasn't the man.
I know they wasn't because he don't shoot that well.
They had Saban Lee. He was a part of that team.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, they didn't really have much in
No,
Detroit.
it was old dude from the Jazz. That's who it was. That's who
Who?
was getting his minutes.
Who was it?
The Bogdanovich, or however you say his name.
Yeah, but
Bogdan.
Bogdanovich. Yeah, one of the Bogdanovich
Yeah.
guys. But he wasn't doing more than Sadiq Bey.
Offensively, he was.
You sure?
Yeah.
You know about that one, perfect. You might
Because
have to
they
research
started did he start last year? I think Doran might have started last year. So it was Doran, I think Isaiah Stewart, and then it was Bogdanovich. Because I remember going to look, because I was like, okay, let me see how he's doing and how Sadiq is doing. Because I was surprised that they traded him.
that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if you say so. I thought Sadiq Bey was pretty decent because every time I seen him play, whether
Yeah.
Bulls or Hornets, he was putting
Yeah.
numbers on the board.
I don't like some people question his defense and how he defend, but I think he's all right. He just ain't good at shooting. Like he's not a good shooter, or well that, or he's not a really good scorer either. He's a nice defensive piece.
Mm.
Cause I remember they kept Detroit while he was in Detroit, they kept putting him at the four a lot. And I'm like, to me, I understand why they doing that, but he's not a good by the numbers, he's not rebounding like he should at the four.
Right. I give you that. He was. I never seen him really put no good rebounds up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that was his forte.
Right.
Was
Which
this
I
the
think, that's what's going on, right? He coming off the bench in Atlanta, I seen, because I forgot that he was there. But I was like, okay, what do you do with him? Because it's clear that he got some, like, if he works hard at his defense and stuff like that, that's going to be there. But it's his offense. Like, I don't know where you would put him. Besides, the easiest thing to say is, like, to put him in the corner. That's kind of corny. But, like, you really can't, like, he don't really have he might be good in catch and shoot situations, maybe, you know, or maybe you could try him at slashing, but I don't know what you do with him offensively. And I really liked him coming out of college. I'm kind of sad, but I'm still holding out hope that somebody can figure out how to use him. Thank you, Trent, because I was up here stressing. I'm like, I remember he wasn't starting anymore. It was Grant. I was about to say Grant. Grant was there with Bogdanovich.
No, we
Whatever
talking
his
about when
name
Grant
is.
left. I'm talking about when Grant left.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about when Grant was there. When Grant left, they
but you
left
got
it
to
over to
remember,
Sadiq.
Grant and Bogdanovich was on the roster at the same time. I don't think they played a full year together, but I remember I knew he was gonna get benched when they had brought Bogdanovich in. So Stewart must have been coming off the bench still. But I know he
Mm.
wasn't starting anymore. Sadiq wasn't starting. So that I remember.
Okay. So what do you think about Maxi though? You think Maxi is ready to unleash on the league?
I mean, I think I forgot
No Ben Simmons, no James Harden. So it's got to be Maxi time, right?
yeah, but like I told the guy that's the Philly fan the other night, he said he believes Maxi is a franchise guy. I think he's a solid, very solid piece. But I just feel like it's great that they 6-1, but I just feel like that team goes as Embiid goes. If Embiid don't have a good game and stuff like that, I don't know how good they're gonna be. I like Maxi. I don't think he's a bench player. I think he's a definite starter. It's just I don't think he not a franchise guy to me. He a solid guy, but he's just not no franchise guy.
Yeah, it's even hard for me to see Maxi as a franchise guy.
Hmm.
Now, listen, I'm guilty of not seeing much of Maxi, but
Hmm.
the portion of Maxi I have witnessed, I don't see franchise in there.
Hmm.
But like I said, I'm only coming to this conclusion with a small sample size. That's
Like
that's I gotta be
one
fair.
thing I was disappointed in is that I didn't appreciate when James came that they kind of just threw Maxi to the side. I thought that was BS. I understood Harden's accomplishments and everything like that and that type of player, but I felt like that was wrong. And I think that had a lot to do with why he didn't get paid this offseason. But that wasn't even his fault. That was everything to do with what Philly decided to trade for. You penalize the guy for
Yeah,
something that you did. Like you had this man coming off the bench, because I was arguing with people. They was like, Maxi's a 6-man. And I'm like, I think he got a lot of talent. I don't think he a 6-man. And I think Harden is, and that's what you get with heavy ball dominant players. He dominates the ball too much. Like, he's not going to hit him in rhythm, which is what's going on. And what's the name? I can't believe he said he's the system. That's crazy. I'm all for you having
Yeah.
confidence in yourself, but
Is
that's
that confidence, cocky, or insane?
Listen, LeBron is talented. LeBron, like, people say it for him, but LeBron, I've never heard LeBron say that. And that's crazy that James Harden would say that. Like, that's wild.
I mean, LeBron don't have to say it when he's moving pieces on the chessboard. It's obvious that LeBron's a system, right? He determines who stay and who go. LeBron had got rid of 2 Southern Cal natives on the Lakers. And you know how hard that is for the Lakers to separate themselves from their very own.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron got rid of Lonzo and got rid of Russell. 2 Southern Cal natives.
You know,
And that's not the Laker way. You know, the Lakers, when they get one of their own, they hold on to it. Especially if they're,
it's freezing up here.
Celebrity,
Yeah.
If they're popular, they don't let go of their very own. LeBron kicked both of them out. Get out. Boom. Kick rocks. I don't know where you're gonna go, but you can't stay here. LeBron cold with that boy. He ain't sharing that spotlight.
Yeah, LeBron is. But that was funny that what's the name said that. I was like, yo, James Harden crazy.
Yeah, that was wild, to be honest with you. But I mean, Dan Tony groomed him to be thinking that way, I guess. Because he let Harden run wild. And so Harden got spoiled and felt entitled. And that's why you
Oh,
have him doing what he's doing right now, which is terrible. But yeah, that's my Pantheon. And we heard Purple's Pantheon. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to hear Flight's Pantheon. And what makes this interesting, and
oh,
to some degree, go
oh.
ahead.
You ain't gonna believe the haberdashery. I'm just playing.
The what?
Uh, so I'm gonna ask you one more time, Dex, because they played 7 games. Bridges got 3 games into his return. What is Bridges going to fix once he returns?
I don't know what Bridges can fix right now because he's not known for on-ball defense or guarding the perimeter at an elite level. That's what the Charlotte Hornets need. They need somebody to man the perimeter and slow down the attacker. And so that's some on-ball defense. That's what the Charlotte needs. They need to have someone who's going to disrupt other teams' offensive sets. And and what I mean by disrupt, I'm not saying like stop them, shut them down, because Charlotte would never be that because they're not aggressive like that. They're more a finesse team.
Oh, because I keep hearing, just wait till Bridges get back. I'm like, I understand offensively, but defensively and rebounding. Like, how he gonna help fix that?
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. Now, some teams win by offense, right? Their offense is their defense. They
Hmm.
keep running up and down the court, and you get tired, and then later on in the part of the game, they be too fatigued to try to keep up, and that's their defense. Is to wear you down. So some teams approach that way, and maybe when Miles come back, that might be something that they interject in their offense because they do need a shot in the arm. They need a dab. They definitely need a shot in the arm, and maybe Miles Bridges could be that shot in the arm to keep the offense at a high pace because Melo's first 2 years in the league, Charlotte was top five offense in pace per 100 possession. So maybe they want to get back to that, and maybe they have a little more confidence to get back to that. But the reason why the Charlotte Hornets were able to climb that high and pace is because for an extended period of time there was no Gordon Hayward in both of those seasons. So I don't know how they're going to up their pace with Gordon Hayward at this stage of his career. I don't see him running up and down the court like a teenager. I just don't see it from Gordon Hayward. He's going to slow that ball down first chance he gets.
And then I was thinking about something that when talking the other night. I was thinking about, do you think, and this ain't just the Hornets question, just in general, that when not a fast break, but when in a half court defense, if the perimeter defense is no good, that it'll take down the effectiveness of a person like Mike Williams, if you want to call him a rim protector and whatever. Do you think it takes down his effectiveness when there's not enough effort or concentration on, the perimeter? As far as
Well,
defense.
I mean, it weakens any center who hangs out in the restricted area
Hmm.
because if you cannot man the perimeter, which is the first line of defense, then there's a dam breakage. And we already know what happens when the dam breaks. The levees are not going to hold up
Hmm.
because the water is coming at such a high rate of speed. It's called a rage. The water's raging. And that's what happens when your first line of defense is porous. You're going to have, it's going to be the breakage of the dam. And listen, Mark Williams can only move so fast and cover so much ground. If you have all these guards and forwards coming at various angles at you constantly, and then you have your own man that's probably sitting in the dunker spot, or to be a little more generous, he might be at the elbow, it's going to be difficult for you to cover the diver and the spotter. And so Mark will have to make a decision, and I don't know if his brain process information that fast to be spot on 90% of the time. You know,
I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, the defense look all right until I wouldn't even say pressure is put on the rim. I don't even know like how to say when it's the perimeter guys getting to the rim because they're not defending. And like Clifford
exactly.
said in his press
That's my
conference,
point. Purple. Yeah, that's my point. Go ahead.
not in his press conference, they just in general are not defending and rebounding well. And it's everybody in the front court. Like anybody that's the front, any and everybody basically. And I'm like, I'm frustrated because I'm like, I knew coming into the season, I said, okay, Mark Williams cannot rebound by himself. And, PJ came back. Okay, fine. You got Brandon Miller, rookie coming off the bench. That's cool. I'm looking at Gordon Hayward and I'm like, okay, is he gonna increase his rebound numbers just in general?
Nah, nah.
Uh,
You got to remember, Gordon Hayward got a stick in his back to hold him upright.
yeah, right.
So
Because
he's definitely not going to be down there banging.
if they answer that question, that solves one issue. Rebounding, that's the easiest thing to check off. Then it's the defense. They have to know in order to win, you got to play defense. And you got to play it consistently. Like, it can't be play defense for the first 2 quarters and then the last 2 quarters you
Yeah,
don't play. Or
yeah,
play it
yeah.
quarter and then the next.
Sporadic. Yeah, they can't be sporadic. They got to be consistent.
Yeah.
Because like you say, they play defense in spots.
Yeah.
That's not enough because they don't have enough talent to come back from a 10-point deficit. It'd be hard for Charlotte to come back from a 10-point deficit.
And remember what I said coming into this year, when they was talking about Charlotte making the playoffs. I said it's very important for Charlotte to beat teams that's gonna be at the bottom because that's something that a team that wants to make the playoffs and that's gonna be successful in the playoffs, those is easy wins to get. I know that all the coaches they first faced this far. I'm not for sure about Jason Kidd, but they mainly been defensive minded, right? It was very important to me that they won those games, and you can't like you do play the Nets and Pacers and all that again. Only teams you don't play again is the Rockets. But I'm like, you should have won those games because overall, for your overall record, when it gets competitive, I don't think they're good enough to, beat the Milwaukee's, the Boston's. They might can beat Philly because I think Philly is a one-man band with Joel Embiid.
But what about Tyrese Maxey? You just talked about his impact.
See, that's what I think they have enough talent to offset whatever Tyreek puts out. That's
I
why
just think, listen, I'm going to call an ace the ace, a spade a spade.
we
Charlotte is soft as wet tissue. They soft. And last season, the season before last, where they had Montrezl Harrell, he did bring some aspect of toughness. You felt it. But since the advent of Montrezl Harrell, they just a soft team. If they can't beat you with the finesse, Charlotte is roast turkey and it's Thanksgiving.
mm-hmm.
They're gonna get roasted because they are a very soft team. They are sensitive out there on that point, and you cannot be that and be labeled as that amongst your peers. And this is why they come in pushing on them, shoving on them, putting a little elbow on their back, leaning on them. And Charlotte don't like that. They have a bunch of players who don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why the Detroits of the world and the Houstons of the world can come and beat you. Not even talking about the freaking 1-5 Washington Wizards. Oh my God, they came in looking like they're coming off of a championship. And it was ring night for their crowd, the way they beat the hell out of Charlotte. They was over there laughing, smiling. Coach Wes Unseld Jr. did not have a sweat dripping from his brow. It was mad and utterly ridiculous for that.
Do you think
And I don't know if Charlotte can, They can't sustain that way. They can't.
I agree with that. Do you think Clifford gonna make it through the season?
Uh, you know what? If you would have asked me this, oh shit! If you'd asked me this 30 days ago, I would have said, yeah. But now I don't know. Now I don't know. I
Because
can't say.
my thing is, if you know whether it's the talent or the skill, whatever you might how you view it, if you know you don't have it, I don't think he's deserving to lose his job. I think you need to give him what he needs and then go from there. But I know that's not how the NBA works, unfortunately. Any sports league, actually.
Now I don't know. I can't say because Cliffy. I mean, man, he's been god awful. I cannot justify what the hell Cliffy is thinking, what is going through his head with the way he has juggled the rotation. I mean, there's a lot of mismanagement going on there. And at one time, I would say, yeah, Cliffy's good. I have to bite my tongue to even insert the word good in a sentence where Cliffy name is involved.
Yeah. It's just
So
like,
yeah, I'm very disappointed with Cliffy.
uh, it's sad. It's really like I don't know. I don't even know what they do. Like, where do they go from here? What do they? Who and what do they trade for, if
Well,
possible?
I can tell you this much. This is what I believe. The Charlotte Hornets have started their version of the process, and they just lying in the wings to Jack Cooper Flag. That's going to be Gordon Hayward replacing. And so they can have a four-man core: Lamelo Ball, Mark Williams, B. Millie, and Cooper Flag. Get a white folks
Like,
something to cheer for.
do like I'm gonna just wait to the draft because I keep hearing that San Antonio got their pick, and I'm confused. Like, I'm like, what's going on? So we'll see when the lottery come around if they still got their pick.
So
Like,
can you see that happening? That the Charlotte Hornets draft Cooper Flag?
I think Cooper Flat is all hype, first of all. So
That's what
if
they want,
he's
right?
there, if he's there to take, I take him.
I think that's what Charlotte wants. I mean, can you imagine the hysteria for Cooper Flag in North Carolina for the Charlotte Hornets? And if he have a decent tourney run in March Madness next year,
Mm-hmm.
it's all but curtains.
Yeah, Cooper Flag being somebody's franchise player, that's crazy. Like, that don't even.
They say Larry Bird is back.
Huh?
They're gonna say Larry Bird is back, and
Well,
he's American. He's not even a foreigner. He's an American,
yep.
a good, wholesome American from the South. Ooh-wee. That's gonna be insane down there in Charlotte. Boy, you're gonna have all them NASCAR people up in arms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Cooper. And look at the name, Cooper Flag. I mean, that's perfect for Tobacco Road.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't even write. Spike Lee can't write a script better than that. If it all comes to play.
We we can't. I ain't even gonna argue with you about that one. Bro. But I don't like him. Like I don't think he a bad basketball player. I just think like it's gonna be an Austin Reeves situation.
Man, that's Captain America, man. What are you talking about?
That
Austin Reeves bought it. Yeah, Austin Reeves bought into the LA hype. You know, the Taylor Swift stuff and all of the social media antics. You know, he's like Tyler Hero.
oh
They
Cooper Flag is not in this draft class. I forgot. I gotta remember that shit. I ain't trying to follow him, but I think he's supposed to be in 2024. I mean
yeah, that's
2025.
next year. Yeah. Huh? So you say right now, Cooper Flag's not eligible for next year draft.
Nope. This is Bronny's or whichever son it is.
Yeah, Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bronny.
Bronny.
This is Bronny's draft. Damn. He an old young man. Then he look older than LeBron's kids.
Uh huh.
Looking like Justin Bieber playing
Yeah,
basketball.
yeah. Them white folks finna go crazy for Cooper Flag. Man. You wait and see. Look at the name. That's Captain America written all over him.
Man, you gonna get that man sued. MC, whoever owns that Warner.
Say that again.
Who owns the MCU?
The what?
Who owns MCU?
MCU?
Yeah, who owns it?
What is MCU?
Whatever it is, the little they not cartoons, the superhero comics. Who owns
Oh,
it?
Marvel. You talking about Marvel
Yeah,
Comic
Marvel.
Universe? Oh, I don't know. It was Stan Lee, right?
I
And
thought
he
so.
passed. Stan Lee died, so it might be his estate.
Oh yeah, I forgot they do got those when they pass. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, Cooper Flag, Captain America. He on his way. He on his he on his way to be Lamelo's running mate. Him and B Millie and Mark Williams. They're gonna be the new Marvels.
Right. That Dex, you gonna get that man in trouble. They gonna be like, yeah, infringement lawsuit and everything. You know the
uh-huh.
NCAA don't got that much money. They ain't trying to pay that out.
Yeah, but they're gonna be ready for it. I'm telling you, Rock. Watch how they
Mm-hmm.
roll out the carpet for Cooper.
Yeah. We'll see how good this draft class is doing because people said it ain't worth nothing much, the 2024
Well, they
class.
said that about Lamelo's class, right?
Yeah, we'll see what they
And that's
got.
the richest draft class in the history of the NBA. And they said that it was weak. It's a weak draft class. We should start looking at next season. The Cade Cunningham draft. Remember that? Remember the talk? It's the Cade Cunningham draft.
Right.
This draft is
People was
weak.
all
You got
excited
a
for
basketball
it.
player don't know he want to play basketball or football. You got James Wiseman, lack of education, can't stay in college. Screw that up. You got Lamelo Ball that's been touring all over the world since he was 15. I mean, you got Patrick Williams, not sure of what he's going to be. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah. The Bulls
Big
franchise
O,
don't know what they want to be. They don't know
yeah,
if they
yeah,
want to win, lose. They don't know what they want to do.
yeah. It's just a
They
lot
can't
of
live off the
question marks.
90s forever.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, you're
That,
right about that. They gotta let it
that
go. I agree with you. They gotta let it go.
I was a baby. I think I was. They won their last ring in '96, right?
Who, the Bulls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was what? I was 3 when they won. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We went 6-0. It's time to win Golden State. Come on, dog.
Yeah. Them Bulls was, I mean, it was just fantastic. I ain't gonna lie, you know. You had the Bulls, you had the Cubs. Chicago was rocking in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. Where's
And you had the
Curry?
Blackhawks. I forgot about the Blackhawks. The only person, and to some degree, the the Bears, because the Bears went to the Super Bowl. What year did the Bears go to that Super Bowl? Was it? No, that wasn't in the 90s. I take that back. That was in the 2000s. That was with
Yeah, that was
Rex
embarrassing.
Grossman and Tubby Smith.
Talking about he got asthma. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, but in the 90s, you had the Sammy Sosa and you had Michael Jordan. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, that ain't cool at all.
So that's why they won't let go of the 90s, because things were just percolating with the Blackhawks, the Cubs, and the Chicago Bulls.
And then another state. I know you a fan of this team, but Dallas. You know which Dallas team I'm talking about too.
The Cowboys, no doubt, America's team. And be careful what
Man,
you say now. I got my hand on the mute button.
I'm gonna
Now
make sure
proceed
I
with
get my
caution.
I'm gonna make sure I get my generation together so we can have a new team.
Now the Cowboys is okay. I mean, they ain't won a Super Bowl since 96, right? 96, 97, 95, 96, or whatever how they go. But they still are enjoyable to watch. As long as your team is enjoyable to watch, it's all good. You don't have to win every year because nobody's going to win every year anyway.
It's one out there in the lobby. Yeah. What you say,
So
Dad?
that's the main thing. As long as your team is enjoyable to watch, because you're not gonna win every year. But as long as your team is enjoyable to watch every year, then you in a good place. If they're not enjoyable to watch, it's a nightmare.
They still suck.
You think so?
Yes, yes. We need a new American team.
I don't
We
know
need
no
to
other team I
success.
could run to. I'm kind of a loyalist. I
I'm
just don't run the team
you.
for fun.
You can keep your team. It's just that I'm gonna get my generation together and I'm gonna have them vote on a new team to represent the U.S. It's
That'll be
time.
interesting right there.
Grow up.
That'll be interesting. I mean, I've been a Cowboy fan since like '77. That Bush Johnson catch
Like,
made it official.
yeah, the new American team
I
is.
think they beat the Denver Broncos that year. Craig Morton and company. Mark Ecklenberg.
No, no. Y'all living in the past.
Yeah, that was crazy.
60 years.
Somebody said
Rocky
Trey Young got
Horror.
33 points at halftime. Shout out to Basil Carpenter Jr. He said Giannis had 54 points tonight. Yeah, the Bucks lost. Yeah, Tyreese had 29 and 10.
Yeah, I seen that.
Uh, you did? That was crazy.
Basil agreed with me. We need a new team in America. Shout out to Trey Young for helping his team be successful. Like, real successful. I seen Jokic laugh for the first time the other day.
What do you laugh about?
The camera woman fell, and he thought it was funny. Then he gonna ask her if she was all right. I said that's rude. How do you laugh first and then ask somebody if they okay?
That's me.
Oh, don't forget that the Hornets play their first play-in game tomorrow, too.
You said what?
The Hornets play their first play-in, play in season. I keep saying play in season tournament tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to be on top of that.
Whose court is this? Golden State. Somebody said these look like NBA 2K courts.
Yeah, I said that. I'm one of the ones who said that. It might be other people said it as well. But yeah, I recognize that right off the rip. And so they're giving us a video game experience in real time.
Mm-hmm. I want to see them wear all these colorful shoes to look impressive. People doing too much, putting eggs on chocolate chip cookies.
Damn, where you get that at?
I'm looking at food. I'm hungry.
Well, I ate me some Shake and Shack. You familiar with that? Shack Shake or
Yes,
whatever.
yeah,
You like
Shake
that food?
Shack.
Yeah, Shake Shack.
It's
Yeah.
cool, but I think I started eating it too much, so it made my stomach start
Is that
hurting.
right?
So I haven't had it in a while.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I noticed when I was eating it almost every other day, and then it started making my stomach hurt, and I stopped. Cause outside of Five Guys, that's the freshest patties that you can have here in Missouri, I should say. Cause we got Shake Shack, Five Guys. Who else use? I feel like it's somebody else that use fresh meat here. Um, no, that's it. Everybody else's stuff comes frozen. Everybody else. What you feel about your Lakers? Like, you happy, frustrated? What's up?
Hello. Am I all alone again? I guess so. Well, oh, it's been a wonderful night. Yeah, that game was down in Mexico City. So they were south of the border, and I guess Trey Young wanted to put on a show for the Mexicans down there. I don't know why everybody left me on the screen tonight by myself. I don't need all this. So are you guys ready for the in-season tournament tomorrow? Have your teams already played in the in-season tournament? I just want to wait till they get to Vegas. That's what I want. I want to see these teams battle it out in Las freaking Vegas.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Like I said, Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.